Good evening to everyone. So today I want to tell you about our work comparison of ontology with non-ontology tools for educational researchers. Nowadays, to increase the convenience and efficiency of data processing, the active digital transformation of all of the areas of human activity is underway. The scientific method is a way that researchers used for many years. However, until now, there are no complex approaches that can support the research process under educational researchers. The research process consists of three stages: composition, execution, and analysis. But in this article, the term scientific method has used according to one of the most popular versions. The scientific method can be represented by the set of stages that are shown as a simple algorithmic scheme at this slide. For creating digital instruments, the sheets with data have loaded to Editor 4, the part of the cognitive IT-platform Polyhedron. After that, the generation of the graph nodes with its characteristics have carried out. To provide information storage and exchange, Google Sheets were used to store data, with their further conversation into the XLS and CSV Access sheets. The obtained documents have used to create the ontological structure XML and to fuel the ontology graphs with semantic and numeric information for ranking or filtering. Some of the instruments to the web-oriented educational environment is using artificial intellectual features of the cognitive IT platform Polyhedron to provide additional semantic characteristics. The received documents have used to create an ontology structure and to fill out the ontology graphs of ranking and filtering. An ontological approach looks at the things that the data is about and uses them as a basis for the structure of the data. If you correctly identify the things that are important to the business and the relationships between them, the goal is to represent one thing once and control duplication to maximize data quality. For systematization, simplification, and providing of a single ecosystem, these data have compiled into a single simple ontology, named scientific method. It is structured according to the status of the scientific method, as do background research, construct hypotheses, test with an experiment, analyze results and draw conclusions. Report results. Each of the nodes contain links to the ontological tools that can be used at an appropriate stage. On this slide you can see the results of the comparison of scientific ontological systems. You can see the name of ontology: Open Provenance Ontology, Mochi, Expo, and Gen Ontology. All these ontologies characterized by a root node, leaf node, and was built on using on scientific method status and authors which have described these ontologies. Possible ways of application of the cognitive IT platform Polyhedron are educational programs, educational research, presentation of research results. On these slides you can see the criterion of search and systems comparison, and it's characterized by content of integration, lack of advertising, interoperability with scientific and patent search, data security, data availability, indexing of educational programs, customization potential, multifunctionality of information processing, data structuration, availability of adaptive interface, data validation, multi-user support, data isolation. So, there are three structuring instruments in the IT platform Polyhedron. The first one is filtering, the second one is ranking, and the last one is audit. All these instruments have described in our previous works. At this slide you can see the result of the comparison of two ontological-based solutions with non-ontology-based systems for the selection of equipment in center of collective usage. As you can see, the non-ontology center for collective use only meets the criterion of data validation and data isolation, when ontological-based system center for collective usage meets all the criterion: customization potential, multifunctionality of information processing, data structuration, availability of adaptive interface, data validation, multi-user support, data isolation. At this slide you can see the general view of the systems for the selection of equipment in center of collective usage during planning the experiment in the ontology-based and non-ontology-based system. In our opinion, our ontological solution, is more appropriate and effective for non-prepared user. At this slide you can see the general view of filtering input system for the selection of research equipment in ManLab ontology. Also, we have provided a list of cases of application of the proposed filtering systems. For example, we need to find the specific instrument with concrete parameters. We will select the parameter which needs definition. Okay, we need to define the concentration of heavy metals in the liquid. So our ontology will provide a specific result. In this case, it would be Universal Polygraph Echo Test VA. Also, our ontology-based solution can provide a graph with specific information in it. As you can see from this slide, the graph was a result of statistical surveys of mortality from various diseases in Ukraine from 2016 to 2020 was created by cognitive IT platform Polyhedron. So, as you can see, this slide provides the general view of sources recommended by Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine at the left and non-ontology-based solution at the right. As you can see, non-ontology-based solution provide more detailed information about scientific journals comparing to the source recommended by the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. A centralized ontological tool based on the IT platform Polyhedron consists from search system ranking, search systems, hypothesis test systems, center for collective use, the selection of methods, the selection of research equipment, sources recommended by the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, Scopus sources, the promising developments of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine has been created. These ontological tools can be used during almost all the stages of the scientific method used during educational researches. As a result of the comparison, it was found that all systems created by cognitive IT platform Polyhedron are more appropriate to use, because they fully meet all the comparison criteria.